Today on This Old House,
we are weaving new hardwood flooring into the existing hardwood flooring.
and our house gets a high-performance aluminum gutter that has the classic look of wood. So what is your solution?
So we've got an extruded aluminum gutter.
Okay, so holy mackerel.
Yeah, you can drive a truck over that.
Yeah. That's it. Hey there, welcome back to This Old House and to our 1890s Victorian here in West Roxbury. Now the house is undergoing a substantial restoration, which means there are plenty of things that are new, like windows, siding, and front porch, but also plenty that is original. And one of those things needs to be looked at by our expert, Mark McCullough. Hey Mark.
Hey Kevin.
So I'm talking to the homeowner and he's looking for sort of a diagnosis on his foundation, and I said, hey, I know a guy. What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I love it. It's
You do?
actually in great condition. I've walked around the whole perimeter. What I look for is bulges in the foundations. I found none.
Okay, and on the outside, I mean, I presume this is original?
Original to the house, and I mean original right through this area right here. I mean, check this out. This is the Roxbury pudding stone.
Oh, yeah.
It's only found in this area. This is a stone that when the mason put it in, he wanted to make a cleaner face, so I can just see the hammer marks that he made.
Nice.
And this particular stone probably made by Mother Nature, meaning it was a topical stone that had been weathered. Somebody picked it up, put it in the wall, jointed it off, and that's the look that you're left with.
So they're just digging them up right here and then they're just making a foundation out of them?
More than likely.
Okay. And then in terms of the different color mortar, I presume that's a patch? You're okay with that?
You know what? I'm okay with it. Aesthetically, I would have done it a little differently, but it's fine.
All right. Well, how about the inside?
All right, let's check it out. All right, Kevin, this is the real reason this foundation is in good condition. 20 inches thick. A house like this, usually 12 inches will do.
Good news.
And look at this spot. Not a steel beam, it's a wood beam.
Yeah.
So we know that this wood beam with the temperature fluctuation in the basement is gonna rock. It's gonna move left to right.
All right.
Look at this crack right here. That's a byproduct of the movement.
Comes right out of the corner of the beam.
Right.
Look at that.
And as you can see, they've tried to fix these cracks with a couple different materials.
Yo, what do you think of these materials?
I'd use neither one. They've used this foam for air infiltration, not a bad idea, but if there's water behind this foam, it's gonna act as a sponge and it's gonna pull the water in.
Ugh.
Yeah, the material that they used here is hydraulic cement. It's not really compatible with the other materials. Again, the mortar has to be a little bit softer because we know those stones are always moving. If the mortar is harder than the stone movement, you can see what happens.
Just pops off.
It's on the floor, right?
So does the crack cause you any concern? And if it does, how would you fix it?
So it doesn't cause me a whole lot of concern. I know what happened here, but what I would do is dig this out and just repack it with a type N mortar.
Beautiful.
Yep, let me show you something else though. All right, Kevin, this is a real problem. It's a water problem. You can see the water on the floor right here, right?
Yep.
But look at this. This is what really concerns me.
So that mortar is just crumbling.
It's just super punky, as we call it. So
Yeah.
there's water, obviously water infiltration coming from the outside. It seeps all the way through that massive 20-inch wall. And look at, that's what's it's doing. That's a byproduct of this water.
And this is obviously a perennial problem. I mean, look at it. We got a rusty screwdriver, rotted wood. So this happens every time we get rain or whatever.
Exactly. And the only fix is to go outside and fix it.
So again, you would scrape that away, repoint, but no point in doing that until you solve the water problem outside.
Exactly. Exactly. That's where the water's coming from.
So that one's on the list.
Yep. All right, Kevin, so that's a water problem that's coming in from the outside. This is a water problem that's actually coming up through the floor.
Yep.
So back in the day, this was probably a dirt floor, but when they did pour that concrete, this is just a rat slab. So I guarantee there was no gravel under it, there was no vapor barrier under it, and consequently, this masonry post acts as a wick.
Just pulling the groundwater up through.
Just pulling it up and again, degrading the mortar only for a foot or so, but again, that's indication that again, it's wicking up.
Only so far. So this is a supporting column underneath our wooden beam. Does this cause you concern?
Well, yes, it does because it is holding up the house. So I'm gonna have to take everything out that's loose and then I'm going to repack.
All right. And this took years to cause this damage.
Right.
So it's not going to fall down this weekend,
It's
but it
not
does
gonna
have to be
fall down.
tended to.
It does.
All right, well, I'll let you tend to that, repointing, I guess, and I'll give the homeowner the report.
All right, great.
Thank you,
I'll
Mark.
get going.
Today we are at the 1898 Dracut Centre School, which is being converted into affordable housing units for veterans. And you can see that we've got a new paint job up. That is the original color from 124 years ago. And look at all of the window openings. Those have to be addressed, which is one of the reasons why we're here today. The Historic Commission asked us to preserve these windows, and, well, they are big and there are a lot of openings, almost 50 of them in this building. So Allison Hardy, also known as the Window Woman, painstakingly restored all of the windows in her shop, and today she's ready to install these 124-year-old sash. Hey, Allison.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good to see you again. Oh, wow, good to see the windows. They are beautiful.
They are back and we're ready to hang them.
Nice job. So what is the hanging process?
So we need to weigh the window sash so we know how much weight it needs to counterbalance it to go up and down nicely.
Okay.
It's a 30-pound sash, so we're going to need big weights like these 15-pounders.
Okay, so one on either side. You are looking for perfectly balanced.
We are.
Is that labeled?
It is.
I never even knew that before. They've each got a little weight number on it.
They do. And if
Okay.
we don't have exactly the right one, we can add a pound or two. These are called add-a-weight.
I had a couple of those over the holidays. Okay, that trims you out right there.
So the weights get attached to either sash cord or sash chain. For this application, we're going with sash chain, a little more durable, long-lasting. This is copper depth steel.
And looks great. All right, so you ready to hang a couple?
We're ready to go. So Earl's going to thread the chain over the pulleys as a first step with these special clips. Going to crimp it so it stays on there. That's it. All right, we're going to put the window in now and cut the chains to the right length. There's a channel here for the chain to sit in, and that would normally be where the knot on the sash cord goes, but with chain we can't do a knot, so we use these pigtails, and that just threads on there. We loop it back, and then for extra insurance, it's in there. We're going to put a screw in just to hold it nice and secure. That seems to work nice and easily and stays up because it's properly balanced.
God, that looks good.
Next, we'll put in the parting beads.
Okay.
It goes in the slot, it holds the upper sash in place and holds it apart from the lower sash.
A little bit of a choke point there at the meeting rail.
It's always tricky getting around the meeting rail. Now we're going to put the parting bead in on the other side as well.
Okay.
All right, let's give it a test and see how it works. Nice and smooth, we're ready to hang the lower sash.
Okay.
We want the chains on the lower sash to be a little bit longer
Why is that?
so that it'll sit into the sill.
You guys like? May I?
You may.
So let's see here. Oh, look at that. Nice smooth glide, perfectly balanced, one hand.
Most excellent.
That is terrific. I mean, this is just absolutely going to make the building. Earl, Allison, thank you.
You're welcome.
That is just, look at how easy that works.
Hey, place is looking good. Hey, Deliandro, how are you?
Hey, Tom. Yeah.
Got
place
the
look
plaster
good.
on, you got the ceilings painted.
Yes.
And now we're ready to patch the floors.
Exactly.
All right, I see you've already done something over here. You started the weave process right here.
Yes.
And we're going to patch it with the oak, I see.
Yep, red oak. So I got a sample here, 2 1/4.
Yep.
3/4 of an inch thick, tongue and groove. So
Right. This
should
is
match pretty good.
Very popular floor, and it's going to look good.
Should be able to fit on those gaps over there.
Yeah, we'll fill all the gaps. Well, what the process here is that we need to extend this floor because this wall came across and over. You can see it on the floor. And this straight line here, and the floor is cut because it went against the baseboard here. Then it turned, and in here, and these are where kitchen cabinets were, and the stove, and the chimney. took that down and opened this whole space up.
Yes, yes, that's what
Yep.
we did.
All right, now if we look at the existing floor here as I came into the front hall, this is actually heart pine. It's beautiful flooring, expensive.
Yeah.
And there's actually some underneath this floor, but I would imagine it's pretty beat up from all the nails, and I can see a lot of holes over there.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
the process that we're going to do today is we're going to patch a hole right here to remove that register, because that's not needed anymore, right?
Yeah, no, we don't need that. We have a couple of those that we got to patch it in.
Okay, so you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's get going.
Okay. All right, why don't you get that register out? I'll pull some of these nails
All right.
and cut some of this back. All right. Oh, just some loose pieces, huh?
Yeah, they were just like loose, no nails.
No nails. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that. That goes under the wall.
So you want me to start removing these parts, Tommy?
Yeah, do you want to cut a piece to go in here? And we can cut another piece once I get this cleaned out to go over here. How's that?
That sounds good, yeah.
All right, we'll get this subfloor in. This will bring us up to the level of the old floor right here.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see, I hope that fit in properly. There you go.
Now, the idea of it is we want to screw this down in place to the joist, so we're going to make sure it's nice and tight. We also want to screw this section of the flooring here to the old subfloor because that could squeak. All right, so our progress is going well. Right here was the register in the floor that we took out. And this is a moisture barrier so that any moisture in the basement comes up won't penetrate the underside of the flooring. We also cut back our floor so we can weave the new floor into it. All right, so now we're ready to put this next piece in. So we got to push it in. You watch, this board is going to move a little bit. He's going to tap it in with a hammer. So we've cut out the old sections of the floor on an irregular basis, and the new wood could be staggered and blended better with the old wood. Perfect. All right. So that came right down. I used the rubber end of the hammer, hit it on the edge of the board, and that'll push it right in place. And I'll just use the gun, put a couple staples in the new floor and in the old part. And now what we have to do is we have to make sure that's tight there, and we'll have to use a finish gun to nail that because we can't get in there.
2-inch finish nail.
Yep.
Going from,
That section right here against the wall will be hidden by the baseboard too.
yeah, that gets covered up.
Yep. Okay, so now we get another piece here, and we can run our stagger again.
Yeah.
All right, Deliandro, I think it's coming along good.
Yeah.
Well, once we get the weave done, then the rest of it, like kitchen and down the hallway, should definitely go fast.
Exactly, yeah. So me and my guys will take care of that. You know, once we pass this, we'll go really fast.
Yeah, you sure will. All right, great job.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your help.
My pleasure.
So our back bedroom, which is currently a workstation, is actually going to be a really nice room. It's got beautiful natural light, windows on 2 sides, and for the first time, it's got a dedicated closet right here. This used to be a back staircase that was closed in. So we've got the beginnings of a master suite. And completing that master suite is this bathroom right here. Hey, Gabriel.
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
All right, good to see you again. So last time I saw you, we were putting down the electric heat in the floor. Nice touch.
That's right. Yes.
Looks like you're getting ready for tile.
Yes.
What'd the homeowners ask of you?
So he asked for a bench,
Bench right here.
linear drain,
Right there.
and a curbless shower.
Curbless shower. So you want nothing in between wet and dry area.
That's right.
What, is this your tile?
This is the tile.
Okay, so that's literally just gonna go right across this floor
Yeah.
into your shower.
Exactly.
Popular looks these days. So you've already done, well, it looks like a mud job. Is this, do you guys use the foam panels, or am I looking at a traditional mud job?
We use sometimes the pre-pitch foam base, but we decided to do the mud job because it's just hard to get materials right now.
Good thing you guys know how to do the mud job.
That's right.
So you pitched in a couple directions to the drain.
That's right. Yeah. So it has a pitch this way, right? And a little pitch to that corner right there. Yep.
Beautiful. All right, this will run on top. And then for your waterproofing, how are we doing that?
So we're gonna use the waterproofing membrane to waterproofing the entire shower floor.
We're ready to do that?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Let's get to work.
Okay.
Looks like you did a little bit of work on this already.
That's right. So I pre-cut the membrane and lay out in place first.
We've used membranes like this before, and as I understand it, the fabric has microscopic holes, and they're so small that water can't pass through it. And it adheres well to thin set.
Exactly.
So Gabriel, traditional thin set.
That's right.
What have you got there for a trowel?
So we have 1/8 V groove.
Nice. Now you can see why you pre-cut it and laid it in there first.
That's right.
So what do you got there?
It's a ground float made of rubber, so we don't damage the fabric.
So Gabriel, you're bringing that thin set over the seam, but then out into the bathroom about a foot.
That's right.
Why?
So just in case if any water come outside of the shower, so that corner is very important to be waterproof.
Gotcha. Curbless, you basically have to do this.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty cool that with the fabric you can make any surface waterproof. I mean, you're over a mud job, your electric heating membrane, and plaster walls,
That's right.
all with one piece.
That's right, Kevin. So I'll overlap about 2 inches in here. Okay, that way it will be nice and tight,
Yep.
watertight.
So that's a corner piece that the manufacturer provides. You like those?
I like, Kevin. You make it so easy to seal 100% that corner right there. That's very important.
All right, looking good. So next steps for you, Gabriel?
So next step will be some waterproofing paint on those corners, Kevin. And that's it. You'll be ready for tile.
Nice, all right. Well, we'll definitely want to come back and check that out, so.
Sounds good.
Nice job, thank you.
All right, thank you.
We want the exterior of our house to look as authentic as possible, and that comes down to even its gutters. Now, back in the day, this house probably had wooden gutters, but today, wood doesn't always perform the way we like, and they can be expensive. So, designer and builder David Hornstein has brought us an alternative. Hey, David, nice to meet you.
Hey, how you doing?
So, a lot of people use aluminum. What don't you like about what's out there?
Yeah, so flimsy, right? If you put a ladder against it, you're going to dent it.
Okay.
Also, the profile, that's a K profile. That's not actually a traditional wood profile.
So not authentic enough for you.
Exactly.
All right.
And the joints are in different planes. So a piece of wood would just be continuous to the miter. These are two separate pieces with visible fasteners.
So you don't like the overlap. Again, not authentic.
Exactly.
All right, so that's why you don't like this. And what is your solution?
So we've got an extruded aluminum gutter.
Okay, so holy mackerel.
Yeah,
That,
you can drive a truck over that.
yeah. And so a lot beefier sort of just in terms
10
of,
times thicker
yeah,
than a
that's
standard aluminum.
pretty obvious right there.
So this is an exact match of a traditional wood gutter.
Right.
Actually holds twice the volume though.
And so what we're getting here on one side is what you'd like to see versus what's out there now.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then on the joints, the joint is seamless. So that's going to look exactly like a wood gutter.
And are you making it the same way as you would with a wood gutter? I mean, are you chopping this on a saw?
On a chop saw.
And how are you fastening it together?
There's a hidden connector on the inside.
Oh, look at that. So sort of a pin,
Yep.
and it slides into those tracks. That's what those are for.
Right, the tracks are for that, and then also the tracks hold a couple accessories. They hold a leaf guard that snaps in like that.
Snaps in and out easily.
If you ever need to clean it, just pop it out. And then there's a piece of flashing that locks in there. That's going to go up and fold onto your roof. That's going to prevent any rot in your fascia or the framing behind.
The wood fascia that sits here behind is a perennial problem with water. Any bit of water gets behind the gutter, we get rot. Okay, so you've definitely caught my attention, and Deliandro's, because I know he's putting some up right now.
The other thing that this gutter system allows us to do is to actually miter the gutter into the rake molding.
So the rake being the angled part on the gable end, whereas the fascia and the gutter are on the opposite side.
Right, and on our house here, this would have been the original detail. There would be a wood rake that came down here and mitered into a wood gutter.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's almost like a continuous line, like one piece
Just
of molding.
a nice, seamless, simple line that wraps around.
So you like that?
Exactly. What I don't like is what you see on a lot of homes these days. Because current gutters don't miter into rake moldings because the profiles are different, builders will return the gutter horizontally rather than having it miter up the rake.
Right.
And that creates a problem because now you've got a gutter that you've got to cover, so they actually have to build this little roof over it and create this mitered return here. So it's a lot of work, and it really doesn't look as elegant as the other detail.
You know, at first glance, it almost looks like it makes sense because it's so fussy, but it means that your gutter is outbound here. And there's really no reason to have a gutter over here because the water is shedding that way, not this way.
Right, and you really want your roof to kind of encapsulate the building, so to have this piece projecting out just looks wrong.
So this is perfect. So we've got the rake profile coming down. It's mitered nicely into that gutter return right there, and we get a traditional clean look.
Exactly.
So what's Deliandro's process basically?
So he's going to measure his lengths, cut it to length, then he's going to pre-drill the holes at either 16 or 24, whatever the rafters are. Screw a couple blocks into the fascia to lift the gutter up and set it on there. Screw it in with some 3.5-inch screws, and then just move the setup and cut the next piece.
So David, where does your system stack up price-wise?
A typical roll form gutter where they come out with a machine and do it on site is $7 or so a foot. These gutters are $18 a linear foot, and a cedar wood gutter would be double that at $36 a foot.
I tell you what, looks terrific and looks period for our 1890s house.
It does.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, well that is a wrap for us. So until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor for This Old House here in West Roxbury. So this is sort of an invention of necessity for you, right? Next time on This Old House, the kitchen cabinets look great. We'll show you how to install them and a vent hood as well. And in our master bathroom with the curbless shower, we're going to figure out how to lay out these large format tiles. And we'll show you how boho chic is going to set this room apart from the rest of the house. Does this sort of scratch your boho itch?
Definitely.
And does it leave you in a position to start choosing a paint color?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.